and welcome to my first devlog. This is my very first game, RedLine, and it took me over 1 year to get to this point that you're seeing on screen right now. So today I'm very excited to show you all the experiences I've collected over this year and also show you how I got the idea for the game. It was about 1 year and a few months back when me and my friend Alex were just sitting in his living room and we were watching some YouTube. When one video popped up, we just couldn't resist but click on. It was about Assetto Corsa and it was heavily modded and it just looked insane. Like, I will insert a screenshot so you know exactly what I'm talking about, but it was just insane, you know. And so we instantly went up to his PC and we tried to install the mods, but it just didn't look like in the video at all. It just looked kinda ass, to be honest. And also we had to go on all these shady websites and it was just all kind of scuffed. So I decided, if there is a game that we could just right now download for like 10 bucks or something and have that experience with no sketchy websites, no nothing, that would be it. So that's how the game was born. I didn't really have that much experience with Unreal Engine workflow, but I figured if I first get the car physics right, that would be a very good starting point for my game. So I decided to Google how to make a car in Unreal Engine, and the first thing that popped up was a plugin called Chaos Vehicle Physics. It was free, it was inbuilt in Unreal Engine, so that was definitely the way to go. I enabled that and got right to work. After being completely overwhelmed with the amount of settings available in this plugin and playing around with them for a bit longer than I'd like to admit, I actually had something that I was pretty proud of. So I imported a traffic cone model, made a tiny drift course, and it was finally time for the first test. I know this might look kinda unimpressive to you, especially if you compare it to the footage I've just shown, but you gotta understand that at the time I was actually very impressed on how quickly I was able to whip this up from scratch, and we're gonna get to a point where it looks much better very soon. I picked Unreal Engine over any other game engine for two major reasons. First one being, I didn't want to learn how to write code, and I still don't, and the second one being, those crazy graphics showcases on YouTube that I was just binge watching, and I really wanted to see if I could create something this beautiful completely by myself. The first thing on my list to make my game beautiful was a realistic car. My dream car at the time was a Subaru WRX. Since I had some prior experience in Blender, I thought it couldn't be so hard to make that from scratch. Spoiler alert, it was actually very hard. After almost 4 weeks and scrapping the entire model 3 times, I was left with an untextured car that I think looked insane. I was not gonna spend the same amount of time creating textures for every single part of the car though, and was almost about to give up on the model when I randomly found this pack on the Unreal Engine marketplace. I quickly learned that textures are one of the most important parts of making a model look good. You could have the best looking raw model ever, but without good textures, it's gonna look very bad. Texturing the car wasn't that hard, it was actually quite fun. I know you already kinda saw it, but after the many hours it took to make this car a reality, I decided the best way to reveal would be a short cinematic. So enjoy anyways, guys.
Boy, Maybach with the shade, brand new CTS, all red like the braid. Y'all just started slime, we was slime back in the day. 21 gang, wood grain on the cake. Big slaughter, nigga, big dagger in my face. Ski mask.
I think it really does look crazy good, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. I always like feedback. Now, to give this beautiful car the environment it deserves, I was looking for an asset pack with matching quality when I stumbled upon this snow pack. I was extremely pumped for making my first map, because this was the moment where I would see if I was actually gonna achieve those crazy levels of graphics that I was hoping for. Making this map was far less time consuming than I thought it would be, and it only took me about 5 days. A huge part of that was trying different layouts for the street though. To make the street itself, I made a modular spline system. This means that I can easily displace the road in any way that I want. And the final performance in this map was great as well. I only have a 1060 Ti and I had over 120 FPS. Now it was time for the most fun part about game dev, at least for me, and that is testing. Please excuse my horrible driving skills, but it's really not that easy to control a car through this camera. Overall, I think this map came out quite nice, but you've probably seen enough gameplay from it, so it's time to make this feel more like an actual game. First thing I need for that is a story, and after some thinking, I came up with this.
You know the deal, nigga. You get in there, get the fucking box, and make your way out as soon as you can. While you's gonna be in there, I'm gonna grab some shit as well. The box has a note on it. Should be looking a lot like this one, and is probably located in shelf number 69. Oh, and don't forget, if they know what you're here for, I ain't lying if I tell you that you're as good as Devlog.
You successfully finish your last job, handling some guards and getting the package into the van. Believing it secures your retirement, you hit the road. However, your joy is short-lived, as you realize the cops are waiting around the corner. You remember Tommy, your backup, in case the guards tail you, so you give him a call. Little did you know, Tommy goes too far, causing an explosion that wipes out the entire police squad and destroys the van. This leads to a 10-year prison sentence for you. After you get out, you don't really know what to do. You head to the next train station and call your friend Anthony, hoping you could stay with him for a while. He then tells you that your dad has died, but he left you with his old tuning garage and car, so you can get your life back on track. You're devastated, but at least you now know where to go. Sadly, I lost my time-lapse of making the garage map. I can give you some tips I learned though. Always use reference. Every artist does, and they always have. Always aim higher than you can shoot graphics-wise. Use high-quality assets, such as the free mega scans, because if you don't, your scene is gonna look ass regardless of your skill. And the most important thing, lighting. As you can probably see, I've used blue and orange lights, which are complementary colors. I also don't emit the light from the actual lamps, but instead place them wherever they look good. To still make it seem like the lamps are on, I have placed static spotlights over them. I've redone the lighting in this scene probably over 10 times, so don't be afraid to start over if you don't like it. I really wanted to create the main character myself, but it just isn't sustainable as a solo, and I decided to only do stuff myself that I can't find anywhere else. It was kinda hard to search for a black gangster character though, but eventually I found this. For my tuning system, I wanted something different than any other game. My game is all about having as little menus as possible, like having the PC be a physical location or the main menu right in the garage, etc. So the logical answer was a tuning garage where you can go and grab the parts. The drill is a key part of the tuning system, because without it you don't have an inventory and of course you need it to unscrew things. There is so much more that I wanna cover, but that's gonna have to wait until the next video. I really hope you enjoyed it, as I'm not very skilled with editing right now. Don't forget to subscribe and wishlist RedLine on Steam. See you in the next one.